I didn't start on the radio in the morning here in Los Angeles. I started as a kid doing voices for great radio icons and legends and wonderful people who showed me how to do this. And grateful is an understatement. I can't even tell you how much respect I have for the people who helped me along. Scott Shannon said to me, Brian, you know how people know who you are on the radio? Do you know how they figure out who you are? And I was 24 or 25. He said, tell me if you have an answer. Not at all challenging, in the warmest environment. He said, how do people know who you are when they listen to the radio? I said, and I did think about it, and I said, Scott, because they hear me talking about things and sharing stories. He said, no. They learn who you are by hearing you interact with another person. And I said, So when they hear you interact with another person, they figure out who you are with similarities or differences, contrasts perhaps, to the person you're speaking with. And they're hearing, which is so great about radio. As listeners, we eavesdrop. And it's probably one of the earliest allures of the medium that I recall as a child being intrigued by. Scott once said to me, Brian, if at the end of your career you've done this, then or if you leave a job, or if they fire you from a job, or if you retire, if you've done this, and this is what you ought to try to do on the radio, you will have been a success. And now I said, Scott Shannon, oh my God, tell me. And he said 3 words: leave deep footprints. Leave deep footprints so that the listeners will never forget that you were there. And those are just 2 pieces of advice from Scott Shannon, who the first man to ever put me on the radio. And the other person who is a primary mentor of mine is the great Rick Dees, from whom I have learned so much, working for him and working with him, but working for him and doing comedy on his show. He told me once about comedy on the radio. He said, Brian, if you've got a story that you think is good, or you have a line that you think is good, don't ever tell the audience that you have a joke for them. They'll figure out if it was a joke. Brilliant. And it comes from so much experience and so much talent and so much insight and wisdom, intuitively able to broadcast and entertain an audience. Rick also said to me once, and this is right up there with leave deep footprints. Something had happened on the air, and maybe it was related to me. I don't think it was. I think it was related to an interview that he had heard or that we had talked about on the air. And he said to me, Brian, the Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. So listen more than I speak. Right. Yes. Thank you, Rick.